And good afternoon, East Coast, and good morning to the West Coast. I'm Boomer Jim, and with me is.
Gen X Deontay during
Yeah,
the season.
yeah, it is that time of year where we start running around with like chickens with our heads cut off, trying to get everything done.
Yeah, this
Thank.
is called white to the point, a black and forth conversation. We are during the holiday season, as we mentioned, and I was dreaming of a white Christmas, and Jim came to me. So I mean, that's a very great thing.
Well, I tell you what, here in Vegas, it's definitely not a white Christmas as most people think of it. Right now, it's 50 degrees outside, 55 degrees outside.
Wow.
Yeah, so we'll probably hit the 60s later on, which is nice. Of course, you're in Cleveland, so you got some snow on the ground by now, don't you?
No, actually, today is very nice. To be honest with you, I'm looking at the weather right now, and it says that it's 43 degrees. It actually feels kind of springish by comparison to what it should feel like.
Oh boy, don't say this too loud. We're going to get people talking about global warming.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy more electric cars. Don't. You're not going to be able to plug them in and charge them anywhere, but buy electric cars.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. There's not really many places you can charge electrical cars.
Now, I got to mention that real quick. I mean, California, they mandate electric vehicles in the next few years. And what does Newsom do? He closes down nuclear power plants. How are they going to generate clean electricity?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's one of the things I've learned about this world is that it's really bass backwards.
I know invariably they're putting the cart before the horse on almost everything. There's no infrastructure yet to support charging. I mean, during the summer, California was telling people, don't charge your cars because we don't have enough electricity.
Wow.
Yeah, excuse me?
Yeah, it's embarrassing. What are our topics this week? I know we've got some things that's been grinding our gears.
Yeah, yeah, you sent me three here that, well, basically you got, looks like immigration and a, well, basically a black revolt against the Democrats up in Chicago. I've been hearing about that myself. So it's still, it's migrants.
I
As
think
I put it, uh,
Donald Trump is turning into more and more of a black guy because his fan base now looks like the cast of the Jeffersons.
well, it looks like the plantation is revolting.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the thing is I'm glad that we're going to get off this plantation soon, Jim. Then we can start living a civilization like you.
I'll tell you what, although they don't know it, a lot of the young kids today, young white kids, are also on that plantation. But like I say, no, they just don't know it.
That's hilarious.
But I've been saying that for a couple of decades. Maybe not out loud, but I've certainly been thinking it. That the Democrats haven't changed a dang thing, or haven't changed it in any way whatsoever since the 1800s. They've been trying to keep everybody locked down in groupthink.
It's embarrassing. So, what are your
Okay, so
go ahead?
no, you go ahead.
I was just going to ask you, what are your thoughts on the whole situation with the migrants? Because I think we saw something. You have that graphic where that graphic was talking
Yeah,
about the number of migrant encounters from last year to this year. Holy smokes! Look at
yeah,
that.
and that number is low. I think it's actually a bit higher.
Yeah,
I've been seeing, but this is constantly there in the news. But we're having record days, And these are the ones that they actually know about.
Wow.
And what's really disturbing about this is how many of these people coming in are on the terrorist watch list. How many of them are coming from other countries? I mean, this isn't just from Mexico. This is coming from South America, Africa, Middle East, China. I mean, this has got to be shut down. I'm not against immigration whatsoever. I'm not against it at all. But it needs to be done legally and it needs to be done securely where we know who's coming in.
Yeah, it's just like I said before. I used to think this was one of the most racist things that anybody could say is, oh, don't allow immigrants in this country, until I realized they are a threat to national security and to my own personal well-being and the people that I love. Because we don't know what these guys are up to. Look at what happened with 9/11. These guys were coming in from a different country. We had no idea that they had ulterior motives, and they were here like not to do us any good. So what are these guys going to do? I mean, the southern border is really a cesspool of destruction, I think.
Yeah, it's not any one country or any one ethnic group. It's across the spectrum.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's catch and release. People say, oh, they're just seeking asylum. No, they're not.
So is it practical? Is it practical to actually build a wall?
Practical? I, I, it's not a case of being practical. It's a case of being necessary.
Yeah, I don't think I mean, what I'm saying, is it even possible?
It's possible. Anything's possible today.
I don't know. I just don't know how you keep people out. In theory, that sounds like a great idea. I don't know how you. What are you going to make it like 100 feet? I mean, they're going to still be able to climb it, right?
Yeah, I mean, what they're doing now, those steel barriers, I mean, shoot, I saw a news story a couple of weeks ago where they were filming people with sawzalls sawing through the fence and
Wow,
taking out pieces of it.
that's frightening.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something happening at night when and hoping nobody sees it. They do it right in the daytime. It's bold and brazen.
So, am I correct in assuming? Because again, I'd be the first to tell you that I don't really know much about politics in terms of the different people and their, their philosophy. So, are you saying that Joe Biden is anti building a wall? I mean, he's the one that's enabling these people to come in here.
Well, when he first took office, one of the very first things he did, I think he did it on day one, was an executive order that canceled the wall. But lately, he's had no choice but to reinstitute a couple of policies from Trump, and he's upset his base by doing it. But at the same time, other members of his party, they're upset with him because the immigration problem is so big now. They're having to wake up to it. They
It
don't have
seems
a
like
choice.
it seems like the immigrants have more rights than we do now, and they have more leverage than we do.
Uh,
They can come here and just start businesses in a matter of 2 days.
well, I don't know about that, but they have a lot of assistance. They come in, they can get a plane ticket to almost anywhere in the country. They just have to say, "Oh, I got people waiting for me in such and such," and boom, okay, free ticket. And of course, you've got Texas that's putting immigrants on buses and planes and shipping them off to New York and Chicago and elsewhere. All the sanctuary cities. I mean, before things have gotten this bad, these cities said, "Oh, we're sanctuary cities. We're not going to kick out illegal immigrants."
Wow.
And so Texas said, "Fine, put up or shut up. Take them."
You know what? We actually have Alice. She's in here watching, and we have the blonde bombshell.
Ah.
The blonde bombshell just said, "Hi, Jim," and she said, "Hey, love" to me. Aw, hi, love. Aw,
Hi,
aw.
BJ.
You know what's really interesting though? Do you have that clip of the one about the thing in Chicago? Do you have that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That one? No, this one.
Yeah.
Sure do. Let's go for it.
Oh, the sound is out. That's humiliating.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The sound is we don't hear any sound.
Oh, you don't?
No.
Um, what about now?
Nah. No sound.
Say again?
No, no sound.
I don't know why not.
Yeah, that's strange. It's humiliating actually.
Well, we're going to have to read the subtitles.
Okay.
I
So this is where black Chicago residents are openly rejecting the Democratic Party.
Oh, yeah. Uh, for a long, long time.
Holy smokes. Black people are openly rejecting the left. Pastor Greg Daniels. Champion the cause for 50 years. Okay. So you're able to hear it, so I'm just gonna have to read the words.
Yeah, I don't know why you don't.
That's weird. So in a nutshell, what are they saying? What are they talking about?
Yeah. Right. Now, that's going back to the days of LBJ and the Civil Rights Act. I think we mentioned this, well, about a month ago, that LBJ is notoriously known as saying, if I can pass this Civil Rights Act, I'll have them blacks voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
Wow.
Only he didn't use the word blacks.
What word did he use?
What do you think?
I have no idea.
Well, it's an N-bomb, and I'm sure the hell not going to say it.
N-bomb.
Yeah,
Holy
he
smokes.
says it. Oh, it's documented. It's well known. Okay, it's fully documented. It's just that a lot of people don't hear. That's not a story that gets publicized by Democrats.
Wow.
And that's what I'm saying. Not a damn thing has changed since the end of the Civil War. Democrats have always wanted to be in control and keep people on the plantation. And it's not just keeping blacks enslaved, as it were. It's just the common everyday person.
Yeah.
They know what's best for you. We'll tell you what's healthy. We'll tell you what you can do. We'll tell you what products you can buy. You can't have a gas stove anymore. That's bad for the planet. You got to buy electric. You can't have a gasoline-powered car. That's bad. You have to have electric. I mean, you name it, they're going to control it, if at all possible.
Well, the blonde bombshell just said that if Sleepy Joe gets elected again, we are in big trouble.
Yeah, I see that. No, I mean, something, you talk about how crazy it is, and the politics that are crazy, too, on this. Earlier this year, the Democrats passed a rule, or rather the Health Department, I think, they made a regulation that bans menthol cigarettes.
Yikes.
And that was supposed to go into effect a bit earlier this year. It didn't. They changed it to going into effect early next year. Now they've announced, no, this isn't going to go into effect until after the election next year.
Oh, man.
Now, in my mind, how openly racist can you get on a regulation? When you think about menthol cigarettes, most people, I'm not saying all by any means, but when you see a pack of Cools or Newports, you're thinking that the person who smokes those is probably black, or I should say, if a black person smokes, there's a good chance that it's going to be menthol.
Wait a minute. You're saying that black smoke Cools and Newports? That's a black cigarette?
I'm saying that in my experience, starting from when I was a teenager, black smokers prefer menthol.
Holy smokes!
As true in the Navy, has been true ever since. White people tend to smoke non-menthol.
So I didn't know.
But any,
I didn't know Cools was Negro cigarettes. That's interesting.
uh, but here they are postponing first off, they make a regulation that affects flavored cigarettes because the flavored cigarettes are even more unhealthy than regular cigarettes.
What the hell are?
Okay.
Wait. What is
Okay.
cigarettes? I've never heard of that.
Well, the menthol.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know menthol had a taste.
Yeah, it's a mint taste,
Oh,
and there might very well be truth in that flavoring contains even more chemicals that are bad for you.
yikes. Well, it looks like the blonde bombshell says that Joe Biden got the majority Negro vote because of Kamala, and she is the biggest evil racist against her own people.
Is Kamala even black?
She's black and Asian and a little bit of everything, I think. She made history for being the first fortune cookie, fried chicken president. So whatever she is.
Yeah, but where I was going with this on the racist part, Democrats or they realize, hey, wait a minute, we're pissing off our voters. Let's not enable this law or this regulation yet. Let's not put it into effect yet. Let's wait till after the election. Then we'll put it into effect.
Wow.
Seriously? I mean, about cigarettes? And of course, once again, that's the Democrats saying, we know what's best for you.
Wow.
We can't sell you stuff that's bad for you. We need you to vote. Although, to be honest, with Democrats, it doesn't matter whether a person's dead or alive, they can still vote.
Yikes.
Sorry, another long-standing joke. Especially up in Chicago, where they originated. Remember, vote early, vote often.
That's hilarious.
Okay, by the way, I am not a Republican. I'm a registered independent. I go after Republicans just as bad on this stuff. I mean, they've done some crap too. But back to this. Yeah, I mean, there's news stories almost every day now about the Democrats or the blacks in Chicago being very upset with their Democrat masters.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
And of course, on the migrant situation, you got migrants coming into Chicago. There's hundreds of them sleeping in police stations because there's nowhere else to put them.
That's right.
Well, that's Chicago's own problem. They're going to say, hey, we're a sanctuary city. We're not going to deport people who are here illegally. We're not going to let the government come in and take care of this.
Yeah, I think this country is going to hell in a handbasket, and ironically, Donald Trump is going to save America.
I don't know about that.
He's going to save America. He is.
Well, first off, I don't think Trump can get elected. I'm not saying that he's not eligible to run. I'm saying that even though he is actually leading in the polls, I'm saying that if he were to actually get the nomination, people would say, hell no, we don't want Trump again. People would come out of the woodwork and vote against him.
Well, I know that they made
And
it to.
that's why we got Biden in the first place.
I think they made it to where he can't be on the ballot in Colorado, something like that. And then the blonde bombshell said that they took Biden off in Texas, I believe.
Uh, Texas trying to, there's three other southern states, including Georgia, that they're attempting to use the same argument against Biden that they're using against Trump, which is that Biden has failed in his duty to uphold the Constitution because of the crisis on the southern border. He has not protected the United States. He's failed to uphold his oath of office. Therefore, he's not eligible to run. He should not be eligible to run for president.
Yeah, he just
So,
can't protect us.
yeah, it's Georgia. I want to say Alabama, but I won't swear to it. And one other southern state.
This is humiliating. I see here the blonde bombshell says that they are slowly taking away our rights for anything. She also says she did not vote for Trump.
Yep.
She doesn't like him. But if the choice was between Biden or Trump, then Trump would get her vote.
Well, that's exactly what people are saying right now. But once again, if it actually came down to Biden and Trump, I think a lot of people would either actually vote for Trump because they hate him, as opposed to being unhappy as opposed to thinking Biden's an idiot,
I would actually,
or people just won't vote.
honestly, I would vote for Jimmy Carter right now, and he's in hospice right now. I promise you, he's a lot more, a lot more conscientious and has a cogent thinker right now than these other guys.
Well, right now there are three people that I'm looking into. I need to learn much more about. But Nikki Haley, of course, she's becoming a real threat to Trump.
RFK Jr.
No, not RFK Jr. He doesn't appeal to me. I was going to say Dean Phillips is a Democrat who's going up against Biden in his own party, but nobody talks about him because the Democrats don't want people to know that, hey, you got a choice here, people. And then there's Joe Manchin out of West Virginia.
Well, let me ask you this. The blonde bombshell says we need a good woman president. But let me ask you this. Given the state of the way the world is right now and how unhappy we are and dissatisfied we are with the two people that's been president the last several years, would Hillary Clinton have a good chance?
Oh, God. Seriously?
Would she have? I mean, think about it.
Now, wait a minute. What? Hang on a second. Deontay, you said good morning to me, and now you have to go and mention Hillary.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, do you think, given the way the world is right now, would she stand a better chance than ever before?
Oh, hell no.
Okay.
Absolutely not. In fact, if I were to go and look, I bet I could find a place taking bets on whether or not her or Bill's name is in Epstein's black book that they're going to make public next year.
Black book. So what is it? It's going to be a book, or are they just going to just make?
Well, there's a little black book. It's a list of his clients, the people who have been on his plane flying to his islands.
Good old Jeffrey Epstein.
Who did not hang himself.
Yeah, he did not hang himself. Yeah, he did not. They assassinated Jeffrey Epstein, unfortunately. So what else was our other topics? I know we had other topics.
Well, mainly it's just this. You got another clip here that Brian Donalds expands the urge. Investigation into the family.
Yeah, Hunter Biden.
Okay.
Said that he's a tax cheat, that Hunter Biden is a tax cheat.
Okay. Do you have sound?
No sound.
Yep.
I don't know what's going on. I wonder if I can.
I don't either.
Let me see if I can try to do something.
Yeah, you should be able to. Because we've had it work before. I'm going to try and bring it up again and see if that works too. Just restart that window.
It's humiliating.
Yes, it is. Very humiliating.
It's so humiliating that I got on these
Oh,
double.
here we go.
See, now you see what the problem is.
Okay, try that.
Nobody
sound?
is a Nazi but
Yep.
a Nazi. Nobody is Hitler but Hitler. Nobody is Mussolini but
Say again?
Yeah, we got it now.
Mussolini. Right?
Okay.
There's no point in making, and there's no cause to make any sort of modern analogy to the fascist dictatorships of the 1930s. But
Oh,
we are
God.
having this weird moment in American news and politics right now where half the country is
That's
shouting
not
about
the
how
right-
the Republican presidential nominee keeps
Wait a minute. That's not the right one.
I know you just threw us a random Trump video. That's perfect.
Yeah, Rachel Maddow. I mean, there we go. Is that better?
Back now to that breaking news out of Colorado. The state's
Okay, so this clip
There
is
we go.
basically a summary of the reason why Hunter Biden, Joe Biden's son, should be in jail. And yes, Joe Biden played a role in it. God bless Byron Donald.
Florida, Mr. Donalds.
Gentleman from Florida is recognized for 1 minute.
Mr. Speaker, the Democrat Party is telling us that they care about taxpayers, but the son of the President of the United States is a tax cheat. He ignored federal tax law on purpose. He laundered money through 20 LLCs. He concealed millions of dollars of overseas money. And the only reason he was able to accomplish these feats of getting so much money into his companies is because the president is his father. That is it. If you're asking why we are looking for an impeachment inquiry, it is because there were 170 suspicious activity reports at the Department of Treasury, which we went and looked through, and every one of those reports said very clearly that there was evidence of money laundering and potentially tax evasion.
Now, this is a case of people saying, if there's smoke, there must be fire. And I'll be honest with you, a lot of this is tit for tat with the Republicans trying to get some payback for Trump being impeached. But I think a reasonable person has to say that, yeah, something looks fishy here, and we need to clear it up one way or another.
Yeah, I would say.
But what's happened is people are saying, "Oh no, you can't look into this. There's nothing to see here. Move along." And that's what happened on the election challenges. Every court in the country threw them out. They just said, "Nope, nothing happened here. It's impossible. Move along." And now on this, they're saying, "Oh, it's just a witch hunt because of Hunter being Joe's son, but there's nothing here. We got this handled."
Do you
No,
think-
shine a spotlight on it. Answer the questions outright, yes or no. Settle it.
Hunter Biden seems to be in the spotlight a lot. He's getting more and more famous. Do you think that he is with the Illuminati? No, seriously. I think it's a fair question.
I don't think there is an Illuminati. I really don't. I mean, it makes for a nice story, but no.
I think Hunter Biden is with the Illuminati. I think Hunter Biden is the one that's been getting paid off by Puffy to do some of these things to denigrate Joe Biden, so that it's ruining him, and him and Trump are on the same level of hatred now across the country. I think it's a conspiracy because of that. Let's face it, anything is possible.
Possible, yes. Probable, no. In this case, I just think Hunter Biden, quite simply, is just the go-between to, like this gentleman is saying, launder money into the Biden family. I mean, he's sold some paintings to who knows who, $500,000 apiece. Now, do you think Hunter Biden is really a talented artist that can sell a piece of artwork that's worth that much, or actually produce something that's worth that much?
No.
Yeah, I mean that looks funny. It smells.
Yeah.
So find out.
Well, since it is beginning to look a lot like Christmas, I want to know: do you think the whole concept of Santa Claus? Do you think that's a conspiracy?
What, Santa Claus?
Yeah.
I absolutely will tell you right now, Santa Claus is real. There's absolutely no doubt whatsoever in my mind that Santa Claus is real. And the reason I know is because I've been up at 2 a.m. putting batteries into toys for my kids. Santa Claus is real, and he's every mom and dad out there that makes certain that their kids wake up to something.
Wow. Speaking of kids waking up to something, I mean, that knife job that OJ did, that was, oh my God. But I know we had something.
I don't know where you got that from, but okay.
Waking up to something. They woke up to their, anyways. No, I agree with everything you're saying, man, except for the stuff I don't agree with. And I think that it's important for us to acknowledge the fact that this border wall will never get built because it makes too much sense. And whenever something makes sense in this country, it doesn't get to go and do more things.
That's pretty much the truth nowadays.
And it's highly unfortunate because I think we need that more than ever, especially when we have a situation where Joe Biden has proven to be a catastrophic ticking time bomb. He's a catastrophic ticking time bomb. And now there's no way
I think it's been almost a month now where he has failed to have a single press conference or public appearance where he hasn't stumbled in some way. I'm sorry, the man is getting old.
He's not getting old. That ship has already sailed.
Yeah. It scares me to have him as a so-called leader of the free world. There's no way in hell that he's making his own decisions. And I'd love to know who is.
Do we really think that he has actual dementia?
I think it's possible. I would like to see a cognitive test. I'd like to see a cognitive test for anybody in politics who's over 70. Hell, I just turned 70 last month. I would want to take a cognitive test if I thought I should run for office. I'd have to be crazy to do that in the first place.
I think you might have dementia, Jim, because that wasn't last month. It was 2 months ago. So you were exhibiting symptoms of dementia right now.
No, you're right. It was 2 months ago. October.
So I got to see a cognitive test. So the Blonde Bombshell just says that her 94-year-old patient with dementia has a better conversation than Sleepy Joe. That's interesting. I don't know, man.
No, and like I say, a lot of people say, "Oh, Joe's not stumbling on words; he just stutters." Sorry, people. I've stuttered since I was a child. I know what stuttering is, and that is not stuttering.
I tell you what, not only is he stumbling on words, but he's stumbling on stages too. And it's
Yep.
And to be honest with you, this is the stages of dementia.
No, they're using a shorter staircase now on Air Force One. They're going through the front hatch instead of the middle hatch, just so he can go up fewer steps.
Wow.
He's wearing sneakers, so he's less chance of slipping.
Wow.
That's bad.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway, we've hit our half hour and gone a little bit over. This is the type of topic, though, we could go on for hours on this. It's and the thing about it is that it is becoming a bipartisan issue where both Democrats and Republicans now are talking about the border. They're talking about the need for border security. They're starting to, both parties are recognizing the national security threat. Both the Democrats are maybe not wide open yet, but starting to talk about Sleepy Joe and is he really electable? Is he, and even if he is that who they want? And they're also talking about quietly, do they want Kamala to be next in line?
I don't know, but the blonde bombshell says that you did a good job. She said, good job, Jim and me. So,
Well, thank you, BJ. I appreciate that.
yeah, tell her she's got to come to Vegas because you keep telling me, so you can tell her personally.
Yeah, that's right. Blonde Bombshell, get your butt out here to Vegas. You can get out here. Deontay and I can talk about photography and have a couple of lessons on that. We can have a good time. I've got a smoker in my backyard where I can turn out the best barbecue you've ever had. I don't care what Sean says. Or I can put something up in the kitchen that'd be just as good as anything you can buy out on the strip.
That's funny. Well,
But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap it. We don't want to lose our audience. It's just that I at least am happy that people on both sides of the aisle are talking about this openly and not necessarily disagreeing completely anymore.
exactly.
Deontay, you have a good one. The Blonde Bombshell, you have a very good one too. Thank you for the kind words. To everyone listening, please find us on YouTube. Hit the like and subscribe. Hit the bell. We're here every Saturday at the same time, 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific.
Yeah, can you be more Pacific?
And we're open to any topic that you throw up in the comments.
Oh yeah, and make sure you tune in next week because it's going to be the final one of this year, the final episode of 2023.
Yep, and we'll probably be talking about how to calm your dogs down when the fireworks go off. Hush! Yeah, get those hush puppies ready.
Hush, puppies.
All right, we're out of here.